Yo, what's good, everybody out there in the world? You kicking it live with your homie Hood, man. I'm just hollering at y'all. You see, I'm sitting back, garage mode, just chilling. I don't get to chill like this all the time, so I'm super happy to be posted up right now. So look, I just wanted to holler at y'all real quick about the video I've been seeing on Kwame Brown channel, man. He been going at your boy, Dr. Boyce Watkins, man. Crazy. And see, I used to fuck with Dr. Boyce Watkins real heavy, especially when I was just kind of learning the whole YouTube game, and I was seeing him up there talking about Doc being a doctor and doing stocks and all that shit. Thought he was a smart dude, but when you hear how Kwame Brown break down how Dr. Boyce Watkins talks about him in his videos, Kwame Brown is like dissecting his videos, and he kind of seeming like Dr. Boyce Watkins gives you a shout out, like say some great things about you, and then he tear you down within the same sentence. So, for instance, he'll say something like, "Oh man, Kwame Brown, he's a smart guy, man. He's moving on his own. He's doing stuff. He's trying to help the community, but he gonna make a lot of people mad, man. He ain't got no white person over him, so he gonna make a lot of people mad." So it's like, okay, well, is he brilliant or is he gonna make a lot of people mad? And so Kwame Brown don't like this dissection like that. He want him to either have support or not. But in recent videos on Kwame Brown channel, Dr. Boyce Watkins asked Kwame Brown to have a one-on-one meeting with him. And Kwame Brown, for case you don't know, he's like this basketball player who they used to really disrespect on the ESPN and Stephen A. Smiths and all that. In recent videos, his name came back up, and when they started dissing him, it's been 20 years since he played the game, and it was an 18-year-old coming into the NBA. He played with Michael Jordan. Michael Jordan was disrespectful to him, and Doug Collins was his coach. He was disrespectful to Kwame Brown as well. So he just kind of like played the background after he got out the NBA. He didn't really have a lot of limelight, but they still been calling him a bust in the media and disrespecting him. And so he finally just came out and just let it be known, like, I ain't to be disrespected. Hey, you gonna get some mama's cooking. So that's what he been driving, reckless, real crazy at people, going hard. And sometimes it's important to do that because people think because they got the white company or the white boss or somebody important and calling their shots and paying them a check or even giving them this large amount of money, that gives them dominion over you, or somebody feel like you got to listen to them, or they know something better than you because white people paying them some kind of money. But that really don't mean nothing. I mean, like, you just can go buy more shit or go buy more expensive shit. You can't die with it. You can't take it with you. So it's gonna be stuck on this earth. Nothing we get can go past this planet we on. So who gives a fuck what you got? Be happy with whatever you get, and be happy for other people who get shit. But don't get some shit and then all of a sudden everybody else ain't shit because you got some shit. And it's sometimes people have that mental problem. But I just look at those people as bad friends, like somebody who I wouldn't want to fuck with. And I think that's how Kwame Brown look at them. And so it don't matter if you got a lot of money or don't, but if you disrespect with other humans or treat people bad or say foul things about people and hide behind your page or your channel or your group or your name, that's still foul. So I respect Kwame Brown for getting out there and saying that shit because, I mean, these people think it's easy to just disrespect that brother and say whatever the fuck they want to say and get away with it, but it ain't. There's repercussions behind shit you say, and I think that him getting out there and speaking up on his own behalf is important. Sometimes you got to do that. That's just how it is in the world. You don't always want to do it, but you got to do it. You got to speak up for yourself because people trying to bully you. And Kwame Brown became a millionaire. So how could you disrespect him and call him a bust or anything when he made it out the hood? He said he bought his mother a house, and his mother had the house on a golf course. So it's like, damn, that's successful as a fuck. But they still, yeah, he was a bust. He didn't score like this. He didn't live up to his name. Whatever. So when they got on him, Dr. Boyce Watkins made statements about that, and Boyce Watkins don't like that. And Charlemagne the God made statements about it as well, and Dr. Boyce Watkins is cool with Charlemagne the God. So, and Kwame Brown don't like that because the stuff that Charlemagne the God was saying was actually lies. It wasn't actually truth. It was just information that he read, but it wasn't the truth. So Kwame Brown had to actually fix some of them stories. But that's how it is in the media, man, being a celebrity. And then Kwame Brown don't want to consider himself a celebrity, and his whole thing is that if you're a celebrity, that don't mean you get to lose your manhood. So if a motherfucker disrespects you or say something foul or get in your face, you still a man. You protect yourself and conduct yourself as a man. You remember the story with old boy, what's that nigga name, man? Terry Crews, when he had the white boy grab his dick, his balls or some shit like that at a party, and he held his horses and was like, I'm not finna go back and say nothing about this because I want to keep working in Hollywood and get a check. With another dude with especially as much weight as his old boy Terry Crews, if he used to be an ex-NBA NFL player, he would have choked that motherfucker lights out off jump. You know what I'm saying? Like, don't get it twisted. Let me let you know what's going on for real. But he let it ride, and he felt disrespected by letting it ride for years on down the line. So it became a mental issue. You know what I'm saying? Then he started coming out and busting motherfuckers that bust the white boy out all over the internet. But at the end of the day, that white boy in his world, that probably shit is not hard. It's probably not bad. Like, you know, they don't look down on you. It's like, oh, hey, you was trying to fuck that big black man. And they look down. They don't look at that as a bad thing. They world. You know what I'm saying? So busting him out didn't necessarily win you shit. But, you know, maybe smacking the shit out that guy that day was the best option. But you never know because there's different strokes for different folks. So Kwame Brown, like, being a man mean at all times you being a man. It don't matter. And you ain't sucking up behind no motherfuckers. You ain't trying to find no white daddy to help you get in business or run your business or operate your neighborhood or help your community. All this stuff is critical shit. And a nigga like him, his voice was needed over the years. But they try to beat you down, and that's what he said, the media. They try to beat you down. Destroy your name. They use people like Stephen A. Smith and those kind of commentators, even all the smoke guys, to mention your name, and then they got negative things to say. Well, if you actually active in an NBA or active in the NFL, they'll just fucking diminish your money. They'll stop giving you the correct amount of money that you want to get because your name would be having bad connections in the media. But they're using black guys to do that. So, boy, Kwame Brown is busting all these guys out. Like, don't just sit behind that white company, your white zaddy, the white CEOs who pay you, and then you just say they talking points about the different black people who are in the NBA or NFL or whatever sport trying to take care of themselves and their family and came out these communities. Don't diss them, but most people, they diss these guys. And so they are make big points about that shit now. And I'm just grateful for Kwame Brown speaking up for himself because ain't no use of being scared out here, man. You know what I'm saying? Sometimes you gotta speak up for yourself, and it just be people who just ain't gonna agree or people who just ain't gonna like that you did it. But who cares, man? You speak up for yourself and you go for yours, and that's critical. And I think that him doing as much as he's been doing allows him to be having a great voice. He even said, take my videos that you see on this channel, repurpose them, put them on your channel. Who the fuck even says shit like that? People be trying to give you copyright strikes and shit like that to stop you from utilizing their videos on here, even if it's something you like or something like that. And YouTube is notorious about that shit. Like, yo, take that down. You can't use that. That's somebody else's copyright. He like, yo, take my videos. Take it. Make money off YouTube. So it's like he already rich. So he ain't like sitting up here trying to make it off YouTube and make money off YouTube to survive like most of us are. He is rich. He made the NBA. He made 60-something million. So he retired now. He's sitting back in his 30s. He ain't even fucking 40-something. So he got a long way to go. So my whole point about it is that that's somebody who you could probably give a listen to because at least he is utilizing this internet to help you. Like, it's not just all for me. Yo, I'm already rich. Hey, it's me. You use a National Geographic video. You want to put up some hyenas fighting a goddamn lion, they're going to give you a copyright strike. Put up your favorite song that you like. Whatever song it is. You know, Pooh Shiesty, you want to rock that on your shit, they're going to say copyright strike. If you playing it in the background, say it's playing in the background in a car, driving down the street, copyright strike, you got that video. It's very, very serious on this thing, YouTube, about how you cannot use nobody else's content. So somebody actively saying that this guy that ran up to 300,000 motherfucking followers on subscribers on YouTube in days. In days, like probably about a week and a half. And so now he fucked around and saying all my videos that's on here, y'all could use them. And people doing it. They all, you go just look. Sometimes I'm clicking him, it's not even his channel. It's somebody else that put up a snippet of his video of what he's been talking about on his channel. So all that shit is just critical, man. And we already know it's the go along, get along gang, as he called it. It's the people who basically work in these corporations who you can't call to help yourself get your career. Say you wrote a book, or you're an actor, or you're a dancer, whoever. You can't contact these people. They're not going to give you no call. They're supposed to be so high up. And it's like, hey, white people gave me this title and this check, I would never talk to somebody at your level. And you sitting back like, well, how do I get to their level then? And their level is technically and sensibly and just basically white people are giving them a check. Period. Just like everybody else around the world. Nobody is walking around this world and white people is not giving them a check. Nobody. Probably me. I'm probably the only one on the planet Earth that white people are not giving a check to. But it doesn't matter because I sell products. And so I make money from white people and every other person around the world. So I don't have to have a check necessarily coming specifically from this corporation. Like they try to say, get you sponsorships, get you connect with these people. But then you have to walk this certain way. And hey, I don't say these words. And I don't just these kind of culture where people and don't smoke and drink. I'm not following none of your motherfucking rules. So I don't have that kind of problem. I smoke weed. By the way, fuck your brand. I would drink. By the way, fuck your brand because I'm gonna sell my products that I create, and I'm not gonna give a shit if you ever buy it or not because I know your neighbor, your cousin, your family member, your auntie, your brother-in-law, somebody that bought my shit, and I'm gonna be happy about that, and that's good because the people at Campbell's Soup, they sell Campbell's Soup. You don't really see them putting on no fucking projects or programs. That's not what the fuck they do. They sell products. Every fucking day you go to any store around the world, I don't give a shit what they call that store. From a gas station to a 7-Eleven to the local bodega in New York. Campbell's Soup on the fucking shelf. So they making sure that shit is there. They don't have time to be sponsoring a concert or a rap show or a singing concert. You do see their name on like race cars and different things of that nature, but that shit happen once a year. You rarely see them doing shit, especially something close by you. I'm not talking about they don't do shit on a national level, but they don't do shit in your community on a basic community consistent level where you can say, oh yeah, shit, Campbell Soup and them down there, man, they doing it. Nah, they don't do shit like that. They caught up in selling this product right here. Whoever the fuck they are, Tropicana. They are into selling fucking Jews. They don't give a shit about putting on those programs about racing and shit like that. The whole idea is about selling the product, and so that's what that did. So that's what I do. That's what my focus is always on, and I like that because again, product don't talk back, such as Master P said. I've said that before. I heard Master P say that though. And product don't complain. So you just make it, put it out there. So I was spending the majority of my time thinking of the new product to create. You know, it's almost like being an inventor. So because you're spending the most of the time trying to figure out what's the next thing to invent, and then you do test runs with the humans, and the humans respond back, and now you know what you got, whether it's a dud or it's gonna rock. But you know, Kwame Brown been talking that stuff about how the reading for the shorties out here and the black kids is a 4th grade level, and that's real bad. And so he say how the people on the internet are telling him not to say the N-word and not to say bad words and shit like that, but they listen to the music like WAP or different stuff that's real negative, but throw baby. It's just wild shit, you know. So it is some oxymoronic shit, you know. But he say they talking about death in the music. But you know, I don't really blame the youngsters for doing that because, or even the old cats from when I was young, because it's being transmitted, it's being sold in the white culture, not just white people buying it, but it has to leave the neighborhood. In order for it to get out there, it's going to the world. And everybody gonna have an opinion. Everybody gonna have a opinion about it, whether that's the right opinion or the wrong opinion, or it's out there to the world now. You know what I'm saying? So it's important to get it out there though. It's not important to keep it lock it in the ground and say, no, this is negative and it speaks on this nature. It's not. No, it's important to get it out there. You know what I'm saying? We've watched so much stuff from white people, and we've learned how to have a suspension of disbelief. Like, we don't even believe that it was an alien. It's a girl and we went up there and fought them. We don't believe that shit. But we watched the movie. We liked it. They made millions of fucking dollars. It's the same thing with the music. The people who actually paying the kids to make the music, they're not black people. The people who buying it, they're not black people. They're consumers. Consumers is another word for white folks. This they country. This where the fuck we are. They outnumber you outrageous numbers. So that's who are purchasing this shit and going and buying it. So you have to supply the demand. It's nothing about the words. It's nothing about the content. That's ridiculous. Because at the end of the day, you do have suspension of disbelief when it comes to shit on TV and shit on the radio that you hear. You know Twilight Zone ain't fucking real. You already know that. So to say that music is influencing people to do something negative is not true. It's just words. It's just sounds. It might influence their ass to dance, but that's about it. Everything on TV. You watch TV every day. Don't nobody go out here and do the shit they say on TV. Nobody. They even said on some channels, hey, what you're seeing here is a dramatic reaction from stunt workers and all that dumb shit. So let's push past that. You know what I'm saying? But I do say, the bro is kicking it hard as far as, you know what I'm saying, us being a better images for the youngsters as far as at one-on-one, not necessarily on TV and the images, but if you got kids around you, you should be a better image and better person for them as well. Because mama's cooking is very critical. I want to talk about that briefly too, because my OG, and that's what we call them in Chicago. When I was growing up, to my mother, if I called her ma, I say, hey mama. But to somebody else, if I was referring to my mother, I would call her my OG. Now, as I got older, they use OG as referring to an original gangster or older guy in a gang. But where I grew up, I didn't even know nothing about that. I was like 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. I just heard, we called it in Chicago, they called it your OG. Your OG. So let's just say, we ain't gonna say OG, like original. It's your OG. So I used to, what we used to also say was your old girl. So it stood for OG would mean more like old girl. My old girl. It's my old girl. Because the other guys would say that too instead of saying, I'm gonna go holler my old girl. And you still understood that meant his mom versus his girlfriend or something like that. So I would say, we said that meant original gangster like they say today. But when I was a kid, saying my OG just meant old girl or my mother. So you'll hear me say that as a reference because that's just how I talk, you know what I'm saying? So back to the point. So my OG used to always cook all the time. She made fucking food from the time I was born to a grown man, every kind of, you imagine. And she cooked at the crib, you know what I'm saying? We didn't do the Big Mac game and all that shit all the time. So very, very, very rarely. So, and then she cooked a lot of shit. So, but having 7 aunties and shit, they all cooked, so it was just like a family thing that they did. But my whole point about it is that I understand what mama's cooking me. It do give you a different mentality when you can go to your mother's crib and eat some food and do all that. As I moved out the crib, like 18, 19 years old, I didn't really go to my OG crib no more. I didn't go over my OG crib. When she left my parent, my father rather, and got remarried and shit, I didn't really go out to their crib too much. You know what I'm saying? I kind of stayed off into my own world because you know you're like 19, 20, 21, 25, 35. You're not really caught up in like I'm gonna go sit in my OG crib and hit the fridge. You out here living your life, you know what I'm saying? And you go to your mama crib for the holidays and shit like that, but you're not like posted up in her crib and shit like, yeah, mama, hey, see if y'all got some juice. No, I just never did that no more. So as I got even older, you get mama's cooking even less, you know what I'm saying? But as I was a kid growing up, it was mama cooking every fucking day. So now I'm a grown man. I made sure that my wife, the lady who I fuck with, is a person that's into cooking because that's something that was critical for me. So I wanted my son to have mama's cooking. And that was way before I even heard dude talking. That's just my own life because my OG was a person who cooked every motherfucking day. So I was like, fuck that. I need my son to have that experience. Why? Because it's going to give you strength. It's going to, she's going to teach you about different foods and nutrients and shit like that. That's what my OG did with me. So I'm like, okay, bet. Now I know what kind of food I like as a grown man, what kind of food is healthy, what kind of food is bogus. I ain't saying I eat no healthy shit like that. I'm just saying I know what it is. I ain't saying I'd be like, oh, can I get a vegan? I don't be on no shit like that. I just know what the fuck it is. But you know what I'm saying? My whole point about it is that you learn from that. So when dude was talking that kind of shit, I like how he added that to the lexicon because we all have had that experience, those of us who are blessed to have their mother, because a lot of people haven't and don't have their mother. You understand what I'm saying? So God bless those people because that's rough. You know what I'm saying? That's really rough. And I can't imagine it myself. God bless me, but I say God bless y'all because that's hard because I know what my OG is for me and what she mean to me. And so for a person that don't have an OG, I really like go out with my heart to them and I hope that God can send them somebody that can replicate that feeling or even get close to it because that's critical for any human. You know what I'm saying? Not even just humans. You see the animals in the world. I even heard like that whales keep their baby with them their whole life. Like the baby never leave the mother until the mother die. You know what I'm saying? I'm like, what the fuck? I don't know if white people talking the real shit, but that's what they say on the fucking animals, channels and whatnot. You know what I'm saying? But that's what I heard. So anyway, my whole point about that is it's critical about what he was saying about mama's cooking and all that stuff, and I like that, and I hope a lot of people can connect with that and understand with that. You know what I'm saying? And maybe that'll make younger women maybe even cook more. You know, I'm not to say I ain't trying to diss nobody say they don't cook more because I ain't in nobody's crib, but I'm just saying that that might make them want to cook more. Not maybe it won't, but I'm just saying that was dope for me growing up. Like yo, and I grew up in like the '80s and '70s and '90s, so it was like I guess maybe that's what the world was all about too. I don't know how much fast food was kicking it off back then, but we ate that shit. But it was like Ball G was always cooking. You know what I'm saying, at the crib. So that being said, I ain't finna run y'all crazy and shit just go crazy talking all fucking day. So I appreciate y'all listening, man. Go check out my channel right here. You already own it. Check out my new movie. It's called Killer Rapper. I appreciate y'all. My new book is called How to Make a Hood Movie. I appreciate y'all for watching, man. I'll see y'all in a minute, man. This your boy Hood. I'm signing out, baby.